Thanks to Job, arose, tore his robe, shaved his head, fell to the ground. Text saying he worshiped. Tell your neighbor, when you see God's face, you're actually worshiping God. First thing Job did was worship God. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. I'm trying to help somebody. So when the first thing you do when you get trouble, you need to find the face of God. Am I right about it? Stop complaining to other folk. You need to find the face of God. Am I right about it? See, at the height of his trouble, the first thing Job did was seek God. Like, I got to worship God. From the bottom of the barrel, he worshiped God. Broke, he worshiped God. Friendless, he worshiped God. No supportive wife, he worshiped God. Being talked about, he worshiped God. It was as if he's saying, I know I'm in trouble, so I know I need God now. Am I right about it? Let me see, can I make it explain it to you? Why would you be at the hospital with your arm bleeding and leave the hospital? So why you left the hospital? Because my arm bleeding. Why won't you go to the hospital if you're not there? Your arm bleeding, about to fall off, and it's everybody sees bleeding. You're like, why won't you go to the hospital? Because my arm bleeding. You're about to have a heart attack. You need a defibrillator. All right. Yeah. And they ask you why you won't go to the hospital. Talking about, because I'm sick. I'm coming at you because, see, a lot of us, that's what we do when we get trouble. You don't want to go to church. And you don't want to be around church folk. And your reason is because you got trouble. You need to tell somebody that's like D-U-M-B. I mean, you just need to get real with it. Like, I ain't saying it, Gloria. I ain't saying it, but you know exactly what that is. I'm in trouble. At the time I'm in trouble, I don't want to be around God. I've lost everything, and he has everything, but I don't want to be around God. I got no strength, but he has all strength, and I don't want to be around God. Does anybody hear me? It was if Job is saying, wait a minute, I need him now. I know I was with him when I was rolling, but I need him now. It was this, he honored God, he saluted God. He said, my state looks bad, but my God still looks good. Can I get a witness in the house that your circumstance don't look good, but God still look good? He's still sweeter than the honeycomb. I wish I had a witness in the house. He still gets sweeter as the days go by. Can I get a witness in the house? I may not be riding like I want to ride, but my God still sits on high. Can I get a witness in the house? I may not have everything I want to have, but my God is still the same God. He's still my refuge and my strength. He's still my present helper in the time of trouble. He said, he followed adversity with adoration. I'm trying to help somebody. When you get in trouble, the first thing you need to do is find the face of God. If you really don't know how to worship, that's when you really need to worship God. That's why we were saying a few minutes ago, it's time now to really get in the presence of God. I need you now, God, because I don't understand what's going on. I need a God hearing. I don't understand how to handle my problems, Lord, so I need to be where you are. I'm all confused now, God, and I'm agitated now, God, so I really need to be where you are. Is there anybody here know that you can find comfort in God, that you just feel better or when you're walking with God, that my circumstances may not be any better, but it matters who I'm walking with? Can I get a witness in the house? When I was growing up, Elizabeth, there are some things that I know I couldn't handle, but when I got where my daddy was, not that the stuff changed, but I felt better just because I was walking with daddy. Am I right about it? When you worship, what you're doing is you're walking with daddy, and you just got a sense, you just got a feeling that my daddy can handle this problem. So Job said, I really need to be where God is. Is there anybody here today that really want to be where God is? That you got stuff going on in your life and you don't know the answer to your problem, but you need to know where God is. Am I right about it? It's time when you say, I need to see what this Bible is really about. I read that if I call him, he'd answer. I need to try him now and see will he answer. Can I get a witness in the house? I heard the word said that he will be my strength when I don't have any strength. I need to know, is you my strength now? I need to know, God, that will you keep me in perfect peace if my mind is stayed on you? Is there anybody here that's willing to try God today? I don't know what you're going through, but I'm going to know, are you willing to give God a chance? Are you willing to throw your all on the altar? In worship is where you cast all your cares upon him. I don't know, God, what happened to my sheep. I don't know, Lord, why my camels had to go away. I don't understand why my children had to go, but here I am, God, in your presence, Lord. Can I get somebody to submit yourself as a living witness unto God? Job submitted himself to God. Am I right about it? Job was careful to keep God number one priority. He said, I'll not let my trouble get more press than my God. Can I go on and preach this? Did you hear what I just said? I'll not let my trouble get more press than my God. I need to ask you a question. What gets more press, your trouble or your God? What have you been talking about lately? Your trouble or your God? Am I right about it? I believe I'm going to preach a little while. Can I get a witness? In worship, God did not allow his trouble to become his God. Can I get a witness? Tell somebody that's sitting next to you, stop talking about your trouble when you're in the presence of God. You need to be talking about the God of your trouble. Am I right about it? Yes. He did not focus or highlight on his trouble more than God. You didn't hear Job complaining about how bad it was. You never heard him say that I am having it so bad that I don't understand why it's happening to me, that I don't understand why all this bad luck is coming my way. All he did was worship God. He didn't hear him get bitter about his loss. Am I preaching to somebody? You didn't hear him complaining about it was somebody else's fault. Can I get a witness in the house? You don't hear him talking about all the material stuff that he had, making his list. I had this, but I don't have it anymore. You didn't find him in a corner somewhere all by himself talking about how sad he was. Am I on anybody's street? What have you been doing lately? What have you been complaining about? You ought to tell somebody, stop complaining and start worshiping. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and start worshiping. Tell somebody, lift up your head.